All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, I am Dr. Juanita Harris. I'm the director at AMRDEC. You guys saw me earlier when we were looking at future vertical lift. This afternoon, I'm going to be talking to the few of you that are here on long-range precision fires and integrated air and missile defense. So normally the last speaking engagement is always interesting. I know you don't want to be the last speaker before lunch because people are ready to shut down and go home, go to lunch, but at least at the end, you also don't want to be there because I'm the divider between you and going home. But I've heard that they're going to have drinks here, so you may want to stick around to get your drinks. So what I do want to do is just speak to you a little bit about the cross collaboration efforts that we're doing in long-range precision fires and air and missile defense. From a long-range precision fires, I need to make sure you are aware that ARDEC, as a part of the RDECOM enterprise, is the lead in that area, and AMRDEC is the lead in the air and missile defense strategy. So if you'll go to the next chart. So again, we wanted to focus to make sure that you understand from an RDECOM perspective, we are moving forward with collaborative engagements. For both of these areas, long-range precision fires and air missile defense, we've got players all the way across a lot of what we're doing, especially from AMRDEC, ARDEC, ARL, SERDEC. We are all playing in this environment. So next. Oh, okay. So looking at addressing the modernization priorities, the main thing from a perspective of long-range precision fires and air and missile defense, it has three major thrusts. One is engaging first, expanding the dome, and then on-the-move capability. So from an engage first, that's really the underlying mission of long-range precision fires. So if you'll go to the next chart. Great. So from a long-range precision fires, for those of you who did sit and watch the CFT that presented this morning, they talked a lot about their strategy moving forward from tactical fires, operational fires, and then strategic fires. One of the things that we are trying to do is make sure that as we are prioritizing our technologies, that we are meeting what's going to be required to compete and provide that overmatch capability in the domain of long-range precision fires as well as air and missile defense. So from a tactical fires perspective, we're looking at single multi-mission attack missile. We're also looking at extended range cannon artillery for IRCA, and those are some of the primary capabilities in the operational fires realm. We're looking at tail-control guided MLRS as well as low-cost tactical extended range missile. And then one of the things that they also spoke to this morning is the need to be able to have these capabilities in a multi-domain environment. A lot of how we're going to implement some of that is from an LBASM perspective, which is your land-based anti-ship missile, which will allow us to be able to engage with maritime targets as well as targets that are on the move. So those are some of the priority aspects there. And then from a strategic fires perspective, we're looking at those deep fires missions. So some of the earlier capabilities, of course, have to be treaty compliant implementations, but we are also looking at what will be needed in the future from a strategic deep fires perspective. And we've been working that as a part of the CFT, and that presentation was given this morning. So if you go to the next chart. So from a collaborative capabilities, really AMRDEC and ARDEC are working together to provide along with ARL, to provide those counter-enemy long-range systems. We're looking at conducting the appropriate targeting that's required, integrating those fires, and then delivering those fires. So again, a threefold mission statement in support of long-range precision fires. All right, if you'll go to the next chart, what we're going to do now is just talk a little bit about the enabling technologies that are coming on board to support long-range precision fires. And from a collaboration perspective, what you've got is those primary mission statements from a missile and armaments perspective that are synergetic between the two. Power, energetics, aerodynamics, materials, and energy. Those are things that are common, but from a missile perspective, we're also looking at lethality. We're looking at time of flight. We're looking at future systems integration. From an armaments perspective, we're looking at electronic warfare environments, rate of fire, systems integration, cross-domain solutions. So we are working this in conjunction with the CFT and defining what those priorities are, and then allocating the work that we do in order to meet those capabilities. If you go to the next chart. So from an air and missile defense perspective, again, what we're trying to do there is focus on now that expanding the dome and on-the-move capability. As we go forward, what we're finding is that the concept is really to provide that, and so many of us have seen it from an Iron Dome or Thunderdome capability, but being able to, if you can't engage first, at least making sure that you can expand the dome and provide those needed capabilities. So a lot of the features that we're looking at is that layered, integrated, extended range of integrated air missile defense. So if you'll go to the next chart, the primary way that we're going to integrate that and provide that capability is through a detect and track, identify and classify, and then engage and defeat. So some of the major S&T efforts are the lower cost extended range air defense capability, and then that maneuver air defense technology, as we want to provide a maneuver and on-the-move capability. We're also working in the air and missile defense lane, also with SMDC, that is bringing forward the high energy laser tactical vehicle, the HEL TBMD capability. So they are working as a part of the priorities to bring forward these capabilities. We're also looking at the ballistic low altitude drone engagements, and counter UAS capabilities is also something that we're focusing on in the air and missile defense capability area. So again, in that engage and defeat, we've got to make sure that we're providing that layered defense, the extended range, and then also a maneuver and mobile capability. So those are the underlying principles of what we're looking for and looking at from an air and missile defense perspective. So if you'll go to the next chart, you'll look at the collaborative enablers that we're looking at there. Again, most of the central collaboration is coming from AMRDET, ARL, CERDET, as well as ARDET. So of course, we've got some central fire control radar technology sensors, the C2, but then you've got the integrated pieces between missiles and armament, and then the directed energy capabilities that SMDC will bring to the table as we bring forward the needed capabilities. So ideally, from a long-range precision fires and air and missile defense, is to try to provide that lethality overmatch as we move forward. And I think that should be my last chart. So one more chart, please. So again, what you'll see here is, again, our engagements with industry, our engagements from an academic perspective, also just the engagement across the RDE-COM portfolio, and then also engagements with other agencies such as SMDC. One of the things that Major General Simpson spoke to earlier is he talked about some new contracting strategies. That's one of the things that we are doing to help enable both of these critical capability areas. We are implementing a new OTA strategy that will allow us to utilize and have a touch points with multiple vendors through that consortium type activity. So that's a benefit for us because it also gives us ties directly with industry such that you can help us in bringing forward new solutions in these areas. All right, so I'm going to open up now for any questions. See, it is definitely the end of the day, right?
You found extended range by distance. Just when you speak about extended range, have you bound that by distance or range?
Yes, we do. From a tactical perspective right now, we're just looking at solutions that are IFF compliant, so 499, but there is still a strategic plan for deep strike, and that is really not defined right now. But what the goal is with the CFT is to try to prove out and demonstrate certain additional capabilities and see how much further we can push those boundaries in a phased approach. Any other questions? Now the drinks aren't here yet, so you're here with me, so you may as well just jump on out there.
I looked at most of the targets. I didn't see a cruise capability or a low altitude flying target. Is that within the envelope of what you're looking at?
When you say cruise, are you talking about like a counter UAS type capability?
I'm talking about a non-line of sight flying at not a ballistic target coming at you.
Right. Well, what I can say in that area is that we are definitely maturing technologies that will allow us a beyond line of sight capability. We're looking at improvements to our seeker configurations. Even when you look at our tail control JLMRS, our tail control MRL system, we're actually improving the actual seeker in that, and we're looking at more precision navigation capabilities that, from a non-line of sight perspective, can actually do that at further ranges. Anything else? All right, going once, twice, three times. That was quick, didn't it? All right. Okay, thank you so much.